So guys, I hope you're all well and you've enjoyed your weekend. Normal routine for me at the weekend is to either clean the side glass on the tank, make sure there's enough RO water in the top up at the back, and basically just give it a quick once over, change any filter rollers need changing, and every other week do a water change. Anyway, today quite eventful. As usual, I started to get everything ready to clean the side glass on the tank and the front, and heard a loud splash before I took the mesh cover off, which is on the floor there, and walked towards the tank, and there's a large splash through the mesh. Obviously the fish jumping around, they'd just been fed, so they were getting a bit jumpy. Anyway, thought nothing of it, cleaned the front glass, cleaned the side glass, and as I was saying, cleaning the side glass towards the bottom with a magnetic scraper, another big splash towards the back of the tank on the overflow, and again thought nothing of it, cleaned the tank, put the top back on, and sat down to eat Sunday lunch. And when I looked around, looked at the tank, did a bit of a head count of the fish that were in the tank, and noticed that the yellow wrasse that you can see there, I'll try and get a bit of a clear shot of him, the yellow wrasse was clearly missing. So first thoughts were, while I was cleaning the glass, the yellow wrasse had jumped out, and he'd either gone down the back of the tank, or one of my dogs, namely that one there, which is a little pain in the backside, one of the dogs has eaten my yellow wrasse. So I said to the wife, oh, the yellow wrasse is missing. She was quite upset. She quite likes that fish. She chose it. So yeah, that was about 3-4 hours ago. So we sat down, had lunch, started to chill out, did a few afternoon chores ready for the working week tomorrow, and I was sat playing around on my phone, and my wife says, hey look, there's the yellow wrasse. Well, now the yellow wrasse had been having a 3-hour siesta after he'd had his mid-afternoon lunch, and obviously buried himself. Bearing in mind I'd looked all around the tank, down the back, under all the rocks, I'd been in the sump, checked the overflow, to see he hadn't gone down there, which is practically impossible. There is a small hole in it. Yeah, so I checked everything out fairly thoroughly, and I was convinced that he'd made a dash out the tank, and the dog had had an afternoon snack. Anyway, turns out everything is good with the world. He's back out and about. Obviously had a big feed in the afternoon, got a full belly, and I'm assuming that the tank, the sand level at the back of the tank, you won't see from here, but it's maybe 1.5 inches thick. I'm assuming he's gone down to the back of the tank and he's gone under the sand and he's had a bit of a siesta. So that's the first real episode we've had with this 60-gallon cube tank. And yeah, it just makes you think. You do get attached to these little guys, and my wife was getting quite upset and thought that he was lunch for one of our little dogs. Anyway guys, keep an eye on this tank. It's, like I say, this week 11 this week, week 17 in total with everything that's in the tank. That's maturing everything outside the tank. Yeah, all going well, nothing to report really, everything growing quite well. Obviously the camera's picking up a bit darker than it is. It's really fluorescing quite nice at the moment. Another hour we get into, what time we got now? We've got 10 to 7. My lights go out 8:45. So within the next half an hour or so we get what I call the avatar hour, where everything fluoresces and the lights go down slightly with the sunset. Yeah, keep an eye on the channel. I'm going to do a video on what I think is essential in this day and age to setting up a marine tank or a small mini reef, and making it doable, easy enough to maintain, and also going through obviously the costs and what you need to be looking out for. The problem with YouTube and all the videos on marine keeping, there's a lot of people advocating set up a small mini nano tank, whatever, with minimum setup, and of course it's going to be fine for a few months, but then you're going to hit a crash when parameters start to duck and dive. Anyway guys, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. It won't always be this boring, this channel. It's a fairly new channel. I have got other channels, another 2 channels on YouTube that I use, but I thought just to share my experiences a bit with you, and I'm going to make this a bit more interesting as we go along. But it's more of a photo video blog for my own keeping, if you like, so I can look back on these YouTube videos and see how the tank's progressed and how it's going. But yeah, keep an eye on the channel. Subscribe. I know there's not many subscribers on this channel, but it does mean a lot if you do subscribe. However boring my videos may be at this present moment in time, I'm sure that there'll be content that I can help you with if you're setting up a marine tank in the future. So give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I've got nothing to gain by you subscribing, only the fact that you're watching the videos and getting something out of it. And yeah guys, peace out and take care. Have a good week.